All right, so now we're going to be talking about Shiba Inu. But before we do so, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that bell button right there so you can be notified about the TA that we're constantly bringing you about the hottest cryptocurrencies in the market. Also, you can follow us on Twitter, and you can follow me at Ali_charts, and you can follow my co-host Akash at Macinco with a 0 at the end. So now when we look into Shiba Inu, I mean, Shiba Inu has enjoyed an impressive price action over the month of October. I think it went up by nearly 400%. But over the past few days, it basically has remained stagnant, has kind of like built a kind of like a consolidation pattern from a technical perspective, but from an on-chain perspective, one of the things that we can see is that Shiba Inu right now sits at a critical level of support, right? That is basically represented by the 28 cents level. Okay, let's call it cents, but it's a bunch of zeros in there, so you get the picture, right? So that 28 level right there is critical for Shiba Inu to hold to, because it's literally the most significant demand zone that it currently faces around it, right? So around this price point, roughly 27,330 addresses, but you know, roughly 21 trillion Shiba Inu, which you know is acting as a stable support right there, right? So still, what we can see is that on the other side of the picture, right? I mean, in terms of resistance, the most significant resistance level ahead of Cardano basically sits at 30, right? Where, I mean, just less than that, roughly 793 addresses, but roughly 6 trillion Shiba Inu right there. So a break of that resistance level could potentially see Shiba Inu advance further, because as we can see here, I mean, there's no significant resistance ahead of it, right? So I believe that on the way up, Shiba Inu could even test the 35 level, or even 50, or even 67, you know, or even make a new all-time high, because there is literally no significant resistance ahead of it. But if there were to be a spike in profit taking, or a spike in selling pressure, and Shiba Inu were to close on a daily basis below that 28 level right there, then I believe that a steep correction will come, because as you guys can see right here, the global in and out of the money model shows no significant support underneath this cryptocurrency until that 19 level right there. So yeah, just be aware and pay attention to that 28 level, right? Because any signs of weakness and a decisive close below it could potentially lead to a steep correction. Now, when we look into the other on-chain metrics, of course, after that, you know, 400% price upswing that Shiba Inu experienced since the beginning of the month, you know, all the on-chain metrics have gone down significantly, so they don't really tell you you know, a proper outlook for this cryptocurrency. But I mean, we saw the number of large transactions, for example, which can be a proxy for institutional investment and wealth activity on the network. We saw it rise to a high of 3,800 large transactions on October 6th, but since then it's literally it's gone down significantly, and right now sits at around 600 transactions, right? So what we could see here is the formation of a potential double bottom in terms of the large transactions on the network, but we will need to wait and see a higher high, right? So we want to see the large transactions on the network hover above 1,120 for us to be leaning a little bit more bullish from an on-chain perspective. The same goes for the number of new addresses joining the Shiba Inu network, right? That basically peaked at a high of 39,000 new addresses joining the network on October 7th, and since then it has basically continuously, I mean, it's been trending down, right? Which tells you that you know, market participants are not that interested in this coin, and that's why they're not, you know, buying more. So for this metric, we would like to see also a higher high, right? If this metric were to rise above 14,600, we could potentially see resumption of the uptrend, right? And right now it's currently sitting at 11,000. So be aware of that metric. Now, when we look into what whales are doing, I mean, whales have just been buying this cryptocurrency forever, right? I mean, you guys can see right here this yellow line right here. I mean, it's basically just continues going up and up and up. The same goes for the number of Shiba Inu tokens available on cryptocurrency exchanges. I mean, ever since September 15th, the amount of tokens available on exchanges has literally just plummeted towards something like 115 trillion. I don't know how many tokens are available for this cryptocurrency, but that's just nuts. But anyway, in the meantime, we do see that those addresses holding basically 1 million to 10 million of these coins, which let me do the math real quick right here. So it's basically 10 million times what is the price of Cardano? I mean of Shiba Inu right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 29. I mean, yeah, I guess this is not a good metric to take into consideration, because basically those addresses that hold 10 million Shiba Inu, they basically just hold around $300 worth of this coin, right? So to be able to understand what the whales are doing, it doesn't seem like sentiment can provide us with those analytics, right? So yeah, as of right now, I will just stay cautious with that 28 support level, because once again, right, any signs of weakness or a decisive close below it could lead to a correction towards 17 or maybe 19. But a decisive close above basically 30 could potentially lead for more upside, since there is literally no significant resistance ahead of it. So as of right now, and for me, it's all about that 28 level, whether it can hold so that Shiba Inu can advance further, or if it fails to hold, so that Shiba Inu can retrace towards 19. I don't know if you, Akash, are looking at something different from a technical perspective.
Yeah, I am leaning short-term bearish in Shiba. I think this could be a good opportunity for people that miss out on the first trade to accumulate. So the reason why I'm bearish is very similar to what we discussed last Tuesday, because it's forming an ascending or a rising wedge, and kind of broke out of it on 12th October, and expected it to like immediately go down here, collect the liquidity resting between this level here, which is 0.402507 and 2615. But it kind of didn't, right? It kept consolidating between like here, retested this level here again once again, fell down, but so far it seems to be holding above 2761. But another reason why I'm looking to short Shiba again is because of this bearish divergence that I see here. Let me just clean this up. We'll talk about the targets a little later, okay? So this is a high and a lower high. RSI is forming a higher high. Even the OBV is forming a higher high, right? So this is like my first reason why I'm bearish. The second reason, the first reason is obviously the rising wedge. But apart from that, I'm also seeing these bands at the RSI bands are bleeding very close to forming a bearish crossover again. So the levels that I'm looking to take profit are pretty simple. Anything resting below this level here, which is one sec. Yep, 0.402561 is where is my first profit level. And if we do manage to close below this level here, I think SHIB could revisit 0.402218, right? But there's a lot of liquidity resting below these two double bottom that we formed here. So there is a reason, although I'm a little cautious, we could come down to 1933. Right, so technically speaking, this wedge predicts forecast like a 27% downswing, which comes down to roughly 2,100. So it wouldn't be surprising if we kind of wicked to this level and then we like close below above this or even above this. We've seen it happen a lot of times. You can see here wicks, these kind of wicks, scam wicks are possible. So for the short time, I'm leaning bearish, looking to short this coin right now, but it would be a really good opportunity to get a bag down here. So that's my take on Shiba.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite interesting, right? That they're basically, I mean, the on-chain also tells you to pay a lot of attention to that 28 level. I mean, for you, it's basically 26, 27, 6, because
61.
any,
Mm.
yeah, a close below that could lead to a downswing towards 19 or even 17, right? So we'll have to like wait and pay close attention to it. And
Mm.
on the upside, of course, right? I mean, a close above 30, at least from an on-chain perspective for me, could potentially lead to a retest of that 35 level, which is kind of like the high of October 7th. And if that level breaks, then Shiba Inu could potentially rise towards 50 or even 67. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see whether that 28 or 27 level can hold, to see whether this cryptocurrency can continue advancing further. So if you really like this TA, please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also please follow us on Twitter.